Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's video break. Psalm 41, verse 12 says this: "Because of my integrity, you uphold me and set me in your presence forever." Because of my integrity. David came to the place of being a man that was after God's own heart. That was a man that chased after God. And so integrity is the same on the inside. You know, the same response that's going on the inside is the same way we're responding on the outside. So for David, it was always in the presence of God. Did you notice that? He allowed himself the place where he lived. He lived in the presence of God. He made his decisions there. That's where he became true, vulnerable. He didn't allow anything to be hidden from God, but he allowed himself to be bare before who God was. So, you know, if we go back just one verse, he was having enemy problems, you know, that the enemy was trying to get him to a place where he would lack integrity. But David couldn't do that because David understood that he was that Christ is in him. He understood his life as a walking with God. He understood that there was nowhere he could go to hide from the presence of God and get away from his secret sins. But he kept his heart pure. He kept his heart. He kept his intentions. He kept his motive. He kept his ways always before God. Because he just lived in the now continuously. And so, friends, in this world, you know, it's a hurried world. It's an anxious world. It's a depressed world. Most of the time, these are the complaints that I hear. But I'm wondering if we understood the depth of where David was at, that it wasn't because David decided one day he was no longer going to allow the enemy to bother him, or he was no longer going to suffer with sin. It was because he allowed the presence of God to be in every place that he was at. He opened up his heart and said, "Okay, God, I can't do this apart from you." You know, he understood that place, and that's the place of integrity. That's the truest place that you and I are. The truest identity we have is when we allow God in every place of our life. When we understand God in every place of our life. When we've said, "I surrender." And we're living constantly in that beautiful place with God. And so when persecution does come, or trials do come, we don't allow them to overtake us, because nothing can overtake the power of God, because he is great. The Lord Almighty is great. I wonder if David woke up saying that every morning. The Lord Almighty is great. Let's say it. Have a blessed day.